concept. It sticks in the head. Everybody knows that videos are probably 10 times more effective than sitting down and reading a book. That's been proven already. And today's child, because all their content is given to them on some device that shows a video, the best thing you can do as a teacher is to go into their space and speak to them in the language they understand. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So what's the role of the teacher? What's your role? You as teachers, you remain central to the learning process. Technology is not going to take you out of the game. Lesson planning is crucial when using technology. It is still as crucial as it is now. You are just changing the format in which you are presenting it. Number 3, traditional teacher leadership skills and practices are still important. It's not going away. You are not losing your job. Unless you choose not to adapt. Can I go on?
No, sir.
Can I go on? I should hold on.
Yes, sir.
You see, you are old school teacher. Typical old school teacher. You want to write the notes. Look, the new class says follow. At the end of the class, I'll send you the material. That's what technology does. Enjoy the 40-minute period you have. Let the kids follow you in everything that you are doing. The brilliant thing is that everything that is being done, so are you recording this? It's not allows you to record the class. All the gestures I do, all the slides I share. After the class, I can email it to the child, or the child can go onto the cloud and watch it. And that's how you also use that for quality assurance. If the teacher delivers the content the way, but don't spend your energy in class making kids copy notes. That's almost getting outdated. You want the kids to interpret what you have taught them in their own language so that you know whether they got it or not. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So the pedagogy is not going to. What's it? How does technology connect with your pedagogy? Now, introducing technology alone will not change teaching and learning process. Take that away with you. It's not going to change it alone. Technology, using tech tools for information presentation is of mixed effectiveness. We are not yet proven that moving this way guarantees that all your students will get what? 9 A1s. No. But we can guarantee that they will be more attentive in class. And that's a big, there are less distractions. So, the jury is still out on the use of technology, yeah? Tech is seen as a tool to help teachers create more learner-centric learning environments. If you want to move to a more learner-centric environment, you should adopt technology in preparing your lessons. Number 4, tech tools can be used to support change and to support extend existing teaching practices. What we're saying is layer this on top of what you are doing already. I hope you understand what I'm saying. We didn't say throw away what you are doing. Layer it on top. And see whether this makes you a better teacher, one that enjoys your work more, and one that is able to connect more with your students. Are we together? So teacher teaching abilities and the knowledge of tech tools. Now, what are we saying here? Preparing teachers to benefit from tech tools use is more than just about how good you are technically. Number 2, one-off training is not sufficient. If you think everything I'm saying to you today is all you need, alive. You know what I said? Now waiting. One-off training is not enough. So few teachers have broad expertise in using tech tools. Sorry, we want to record what I'm doing on the screen. So just give us a minute. No, that's not a good. Thank you, madam.
So, good morning, everybody.
My name is Okafor Joyce from Olayomi Secondary School. I teach ICT. Now, my question is this. So one would make use of this to teach the students, especially when it's connected to their tools. We have some students who are distracted by anything. Definitely when you are explaining something on your interactive board, they have gone somewhere else. So how do we, can the tools, this from their devices be connected to this board, so that if you go far, I will know where you're going to, I will go to call you back.
That's a question, but she's a deep teacher, so she's ICT. How many of you teach ICT? How many of you? I'm glad there are very, very few ICT teachers, because part of the concept of what we want to stop is that mindset that ICT is a subject. Every teacher, every student, every child is a digital native. That's what they live on. You wake up in the morning, you as an individual, the first thing you check is your phone. I'm guilty of it myself, and I repent every day before God. Before I pray, what do I check first? My phone. Meaning, that's an essential tool for you. So, I have a son, and when he was in one of the schools in Lagos, whenever he came home, the first thing he would do from boarding school is to get my phone is even secondary. My video game, my Nintendo, my whatever it is. That's what they have missed the most. The mindset is, why can't these tools become what they used to learn every day? You understand what I'm saying? That way, you catch them in the things they love to do. So ICT teaching is great as a subject, and it will continue as a subject, but we're moving beyond that into every single subject being technology-led. And that's an approach a number of the leading schools in the world are adopting. That's why many of us are able to attend courses and graduate in Nigeria without ever physically entering the school we went to abroad. What made it happen?
Technology. Technology.
Happening now is that's the hybrid learning that I'm showing you. You can see there's a camera. It can show all of you. The whole idea behind that is that if you're a teacher, you can enter that class remotely. You understand? It's not to show all of you what you look like, no. If I was teaching you, I didn't need to be here physically to do what I'm doing right now. I could have stayed at home and spoken to all of you here as I'm doing it right now, and I'll get your feedback too. Real time, online. And that's the way learning has moved. That's what it has become, especially post-COVID. Hybrid learning has come to stay. It's not going anywhere. The pandemic was the change that accelerated that. And you now, what is the advantage for you? Please, if I forget to ask that question at the end, make sure you ask me. Now, what is the advantage for you as a teacher if you adopt technology? For you in Nigeria, make sure you ask me that question, because it's a bonus that I shouldn't tell you, that I may take home with me. Are we good? Oh, you want to be seeing yourself? Okay. So, one-off training is not sufficient. Few teachers have broad expertise in using tech tools in their teaching. That's the reality. That's why most of you are here. You have very limited experience. The use of tech tools to promote computer literacy is seen as less important than using tech tools as teaching and learning tools. That's where we are in Nigeria. Technology tools is not to promote literacy. We have ICT room in our school. That's where we put computer. That's also all the teachers. It's like a big event in school that the kids have the opportunity to go to ICT room. When that is supposed to be their daily experience in every class. Do you understand what I'm saying? Schools that report the highest level of student tech-related skills and experience are often not those with heavy computer course requirements, but rather ones that make use of technology tools on a routine basis throughout the teacher professional development and the teaching and learning process. The schools that have been at the top of the leaderboard have daily experiences. Everybody is exposed to the use of technology. It's not a visitation to ICT room. You understand? It's not a visitation to ICT as a subject. There is I repeat, I don't know of any subject matter that you teach today that technology cannot enhance. Be it music, I sit down behind the organist in my church and he's playing the notes, the same hymn, he's playing it from his phone. If it's about art, I will show you kids who will come on this board and give you absolutely fantastic digital art. How many of you still do handwork art? Everything you want to design is not a Corel draw. All your posters, everything is in hand. Somebody will be able to take that same art, that same artistic ability, and create it on a new format, including music, including theater arts, whatever it is. There is a format that's transforming that. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Students are more sophisticated in their use of technology than their teachers. I think I mentioned that before. So, take that, it's a global standard. And the reason is very simple. I learned with slate and chalk. That's what I grew up with. They didn't grow up with that. They are going to grow up with an interactive touchscreen and a tablet computer. That is their own daily bread. It's not their fault. It's when they were born. It's what they were born into. I hope you understand it. So, use of tech tools by teachers. Teachers most commonly use tech tools for administrative tasks. Am I correct? You are teachers here, am I correct? And maybe not you. But most of you is by force. You need to record that thing. Let me just go in and use it. And that's it. It's not your day-to-day teaching tool. That has to change. 2, more knowledgeable teachers rely less on computer-assisted instruction. The teachers that are tech-savvy, that's a very, very big statement. They rely less on computer-assisted instruction. Meaning they practice, and it becomes their blood. So they know what to do. How teachers use tech tools is dependent on their general teaching styles. Teaching with tech tools takes more time. That's what some people say. And that's the reality. It's like when you buy a new pair of shoes, especially for we as men and women. Have you ever worn a pair of shoes the first day and it fitted perfectly when you got to walk? There's something called a break-in period. You break into the shoe. Over time, the shoe finally fits your leg. The first day you wear it, you feel pain, it is too tight. You feel something, I don't know about women, but as a man, I know that it takes time to break into a shoe. And that's the same thing with using technology. You must not give up. Everyone says, I want to say, I will not give up with the use of technology. Don't give up. Start. Once you start and you infuse yourself into it, you can only get better. Like your student, you keep practicing, you can only get better and better and better at it. So some say teaching with technology takes more time. True, initially. But as you keep practicing, it will get into your blood and it will get better. Teacher confidence and motivation. Few teachers are confident users of tech tools. I've explained that to you. The reason why. And because you think the kids will use it better than you, you are afraid to be embarrassed. Let me tell you, the joy of the learning is for the kids to embarrass you and you laugh over it. And it happened to a lot of teachers during COVID. That teachers will be locked out of the class by the students and they take over and you are looking at yourself, are you still in the class? I mean, did it happen to you? It happened to you. But you laugh over it. Don't think that the kids are smarter. You see this thing, and let's bring our ego down. The class of today is collaborative. That I am master slave is going out of vogue. Yeah? They are more like your junior friends. They need you as the guide. That's what you are, the guide. And in guiding, the work is sweeter when we're playing it together. I don't know. But that idea of I'm shouting at you, don't let me enter politics. You know, you are hearing poo everywhere. Eh? All the noise they are making, stop it, have this stop poos? Eh? So that idea of if you try me, today's life is not like that. We may get back to it later. But as a teacher, just humble yourself. They are your children, take them up as you know what. Make it relatable, and you find that you get a different experience. Fear prevents many teachers from using technology tools. Am I correct? If I go and touch this board now, the thing break. And I spoil them, who will pay? Who will pay? You give me a laptop, and the laptop is given to you by your school owners. You are paying back for it over 3 years. It will spoil. Just calm down. Be calming down. Be calming down. The reality is that technology is not leaving us anytime soon. So invest in it. I understand the pains. You know, I'm an investor. Every time we try to bring price down, the dollar doesn't help us. Many people who buy new things before now buying second-hand things, laptops, all of those things. That's the reality that we find ourselves most times. But we just need to keep pushing. I don't know of any application that is still longhand. Application for job, application for visa. When I fill form, do you fill it longhand? You go enter computer whether you like it or not. And you fill it on some portal. This is the reality of your day and your time. So you have to embrace it. Tech tools motivate some teacher at least at the start. Am I correct? Many of you have never used technology until COVID. And that COVID, suddenly, they expected it to be an expert. When is the first time you have been exposed to it? That's not the way it works. And many schools, I know of only very few schools, and I'm proud and I'm pleased to say that most of the schools that came out tops during COVID, were a number of them who had that technology. In terms of the user engagement, this switch was seamless. And I know many times teachers will be on. And the painful thing for me is that after COVID ended, we've gone back to our old ways. Come back to our old ways. We didn't progress. It was just, it was Panadol for a season. And it's over. And that's not the way. Incentives must be developed to promote effective teacher participation in continuing professional development. Those are the things I would like to learn from you as an equipment manufacturer. What motivates you? That's a question that I want somebody to answer when we finish. What's the kind of motivation that we can give to teachers to keep them using technology? I want to know, because when I want to institute a prize for schools, I want to know what kind of prizes I should institute. I want how to develop new programs or new applications or new technologies. I want to know what works in Africa. Lastly, access to tech tools is the most significant factor in whether teachers use them. You get what I said? Access is the most significant factor. I can talk about this board, I can talk about the projector from now till next year. If you don't see it or you don't have it, can you use it? If you don't have the access, waste of time. So subject knowledge. Teacher subject knowledge influences how tech tools are used. If you are a great math teacher, when I finish, I'm going to open a whiteboard for you. By the time you start solving, infinite canvas, you solve and solve and solve. The beautiful thing about this thing is there is no need for duster anymore. Just keep working and working and working. If you need 30 pages, if you keep giving it to you, when you finish, send the whole workings to the children. The children can come onto the two sides, divide the ball into two. Oh yeah, you work this, you work that. You compare their workings, so the class gets a lot more fun. Teacher content mastery and understanding of student comprehension make tech tools use more effective. I just spoke to that. Exposure to new additional information by tech tools is not enough. Knowing it more. I know technology is not enough. Can you use it? You understand what I'm saying? Can you use it? Tech tools can aid teacher self-learning in subject matter. I think I've spoken to that as well. So I'll answer your question now. There are tools that can do that easily. What you want to do is when you go around, if your kids, I know your school has tablet computers. I know you've given your students tablets. What's missing is that your teacher, as a teacher, you don't have that tool in front of class, which is what the teacher actually needs so they can disconnect. So ideally in the classroom, if you have tablets or PCs or whatever it is that you have, what you want to do is that you want to be able to see every single child's PC on your device. So when they are on, if they are distracted, you can see what's happening on your screen and you can shut it down. Those tools exist. We have them. But they exist. So that is easy. You can also set different work to 30 students. That way we will reduce cheating in class. Same exam, each one has a different question paper. It's just about even multiple choice questions. That way, question 30 is 15 for one. Question 18 is 17 for one. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you flip that in the classroom. Easy piece of cake. And that way, and it will mark instantly after class. And immediately you finish, the result is out. There's no going back. You, the teacher, you get the result and you go home. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. So, what they've done for me is to create, I can write here, and I can talk to my material here. I'm still speaking to the material. So this helps you as a teacher. This is a very, very powerful tool because I can keep on working my x plus 2 is equal to y while I have a video running side by side. You understand what I mean? So that way I'm following the two concepts together while it's going on. So I have my whiteboard here, which is what you're used to, and then my presentation is still going on here. So where am I?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So I'm making that bigger so that you see less. My annotations. Is that better? Yeah. So, teacher subject knowledge, I need to run now because I have a few minutes left. So teacher subject knowledge influences how tech tools are used. I think we're done with this. So, teacher professional development is a process and not an event. What did I say? It's a process and not what? If you think you have come to TOSSE and you have it all here and alive, it's a process. So what I've done, what we're doing today is to kickstart you. Teacher professional development is a process, not an event. Ongoing teacher training and support is critical to the successful utilization of tech tools in education. Introducing tech tools expands the needs for ongoing professional development of teachers. Effective teacher professional development should model effective teaching practices. You are teachers, you are experts. Me, I'm an industry person. I'm not going to get into pedagogy. Bear with me. So next one. Teacher, so we're continuing on that same subject matter on the left. Training in assessment methods is important. Effective professional development requires substantial planning, and then ongoing regular support for teacher is critical. Please take that back to your school owners. They need to support you. But bigger than that, as a team, you need to support yourselves. You need to form groups. You need to share your problems amongst yourselves as teachers. How can I be better as a teacher? You can connect with a teacher in Costa Rica. How do you teach math in your country? Your teacher communities, technology makes that happen for you. And you can share how you are doing in Africa with the rest of the world. Successful teacher development models can be divided into 3 phases. That is the successful ones, not the failures. Successful work can be divided into 3 phases in the way you use them. Pre-service is phase 1. In pre-service, the subject mastery, the management skills, and use of various teaching tools, including tech tools. That is what we call pre-service. Then you now have in-service. That is the day-to-day use, including structured face-to-face and distance learning opportunities. I've talked about that, and that's what I'm doing right now. This is in-service. The last phase is ongoing. That is we're continuing. Formal and informal pedagogical and technical support enabled by tech tools for teachers targeting daily needs and challenges. That's ongoing. In your school, beyond the teacher, you need the IT people, you need different groups of people who are supporting you. All of them come together to make up your team. Enabling factors. A variety of changes must be implemented to optimize teacher use of tech tools. And my last slide, and this is where I always close with. Technology is not going to replace the teacher, but a teacher that does not use technology will be replaced. You hear what I said? Should I say it again? Yes. Technology is not going to replace, but a teacher that does not use technology will be what? Why? You are competing with people all over the world. If you are good as a teacher, you will teach a child in the US. From your house in Nigeria. You don't need to Japan. You don't need to Japan at all. And I said you should ask me that question at the end. I know a child whose math teacher charges 12,000 naira an hour. An hour. Secondary school. Additional lessons after school. 1 hour. I know English teachers are being sought in the US from Nigeria for essay writing, and they are charging in dollars. They are much cheaper than their colleagues who are charging $20, $30 an hour from this country. What am I saying? If you adopt tech, your chances of being richer than those who are not, I can tell you, are 1,000% higher. You hear what I said? Your chances of your earnings and your income increasing versus those who don't adopt it is over 1,000%. Just a small investment in yourself, in using technology, in class, post-class, problem solving. Some of the best math teachers I know are earning a killing after school support, using Zoom and those kind of tools to teach even students who are not in this country. Last would be, this is a video. So I wanted to play you a video from some teachers who use technology and what they say the impact has been for them. In their learning spaces, since they've adopted it in the last 1 year, what has changed? What's been the impact for the students? And that was just her saying, this is how it has changed us. This is what we're seeing with our kids. We spoke to the kids as well. What's changed since you adopted technology in your classroom? Has it been better? Is it what? So I'm hoping they can get the mics up so that you can hear your fellow teachers speaking about their experiences and what they have been able to do. I hope it comes up, or if it doesn't, well, I won't be able to. Yeah, Q&A. So we're Q&A now. I'm basically done. So I was hoping that we'll be able to hear. I can hear here. Where's the button? Number one. So I'll just say one. Please, you want to take the question number one, number two, number three, any other one? Amazing. Only 3 questions. I didn't do it.
Okay, number
4.
Good afternoon, everyone. What protocols do you observe? Thank you so much for your time. I have a question. You talked about African. That is wrong. Now, some parents they know what their kids are copying from home. If a teacher should use 40 minutes of this and only teach, explain, collaborate, and as he said, what happens to the psychomotive aspect of learning?
You know, it's possible that a child that's born today, this so-called writing thing we do, they may not have to write. For them, they write in a different way. They type. You know what I said? They do what? When they are submitting materials for exams, even today abroad, you sit in your classroom and you type your time. What I'm trying to bring out is these skills are evolving. Our communication is changing again. For my own time, the key thing was how do I hold a pen and how do I write. In their own time, they are going to put a PC in front of them and Apple iPad, and it's all about how can they type. It's the same message. It's coming to you in a different format. I hope you understand what I mean. So, we are not taking away that skill. By all means, for us, use it. But the reality is this: whenever I go to the civil service and I have to engage them, I marvel at the number of files they have to carry. I marvel. Files. All those files, if you go to another country, they are all sitting online. And the person is approving it online. And the whole history of what you want to see, that same file is existing as a file in a digital format. I hope you understand what I'm saying. We are evolving. What we have existing, we will keep. You know, if I stand in front of you right now and I open a scroll and I begin to speak from you from the scroll, all of you will get up and leave. A century ago, they were using feather with ink inside it to do what? Do we write like that anymore? So what we're doing is evolving. We will keep writing, but no matter the language we are writing, if we are going to be effective and effective quickly, it needs to be digitized. 20 years ago, I didn't know what was called blogging. I mean, they call it blogging. I didn't know. Now people live and earn billions by blogging. How many of you still see vendors selling newspaper? I'm just asking. You see, I guess prevalent as they were 10 years ago. What's happening? Your learning is moving into what? How many magazines are still existing? They've all moved onto a new format. Have to learn to move with those formats as well, because things have changed, or things are changing.
Can we take the next question?
Yes.
Thank you for the lecture. My question is, all through the lecture, you have not said anything about governance. Yeah, probably I can guess why you're not done that. But are we saying we cannot force our government to help in this very area? Because you mentioned some countries. These are things that the nations have done. So what can our government do? One, and how can we as a people force the government to do that?
Well, you don't need to force them, and I can speak to that.
Before you take the question, the other people that raised hand to ask questions, can you come forward?
Please just come forward so I can. I'm just going to take them 1 second. So,
Hello, sir. We're taking only 2.
So I'll speak to that question and I can speak from experience. One, While we just built what you call the WOW school, we built the first one at Bedland Junior Grammar School in Gigi. I don't know how many of you heard about that school. Nigeria's first modular interactive hybrid school. I built that school. And that's a model school for the Lagos State government. It's got every single tech tool you can imagine in that space. And that's become a model with which the government of Lagos State wants to begin to build their schools going into the future. And we were privileged to have introduced that to them. The governor bought it, and we're doing more and more of that. So government is going back to trying to build up models for the private schools to go and learn from. So I'll encourage any of you as many as possible to visit Bedland Junior Grammar School on the Cairo to see what they're doing. And hopefully Bedland kids in a few years from time will digitize the whole of government, and I'm sure joining any of the kids from other spaces make that happen. So they're listening, and other states too are adopting. Yeah. It's slow, but we're getting there.
My name is from the United Business Public School. Actually, lots of things have been addressed there. So basically, my question is, as a teacher, now we are now in the new education order, just like education continues to evolve. Now, if the stakeholders and the education educators and all of the stakeholders, will it be in the right direction for anybody to say that, oh, he or she wants to put something in print, just like form of a textbook to sell for students or to be a kind of benefit to students everywhere? Or is it going to go obsolete anytime soon, as in textbook or all sorts of things, material like that? Or should we just leave it like that and face stop and forget about textbook?
Yeah, so good question. Publishers, unfortunately in Nigeria, all these questions have been answered abroad. Most of your textbooks have become e-books. And those e-books are a lot more interactive. So those e-books are even cheaper than the physical books. You can know whether the child has read the book or not, because there is a register that shows what page was read. So you can follow all of that. But unfortunately, because of our slow pace of adoption, we don't do that. So any book you create today, that content can be digitized. And your originality is even celebrated more now than ever before. So your creativity can still come out, and then that same thing, your ideas are now moved onto a digital format. And the kids pay a subscription. Whether you want to pay a subscription to be able to use that book, or you want to give it to them for free, that's your choice. But definitely, writing, creating stuff is even bigger now than ever. So we're going to keep on creating more and more books and more content. Content development is massive, so please, I encourage you, create your content and bring people to access your content.
So embracing tech is not just for teachers, even for publishers.
Of course, that's where we even have the biggest gap. The publishers are refusing to allow their content get into e-format so that more people can access it. They want to keep selling books, and books keep getting torn, books keep getting broken, books keep getting stolen. When it is digital, you can't steal it. Last question.
So my question is, small question. So the first one is
Health benefits.
So the fact you put us to digitalize everything, kind of affects the health of kids. The second one is now network connection and technical frameworks. For example, we didn't want to show us right. Imagine when last week about to teach us or the big policy kind of response about kind. All I say, it just makes learning more, adaptive, the learning process. The last one, the third one, expense costs. So, yeah, the government is not something to write. Now, to find always also not able to integrate technology to something else. Absolutely, that's like it. From power course to tech itself, it's the internet course and that. But the last one, don't stop interest in studying doing more. So if you lose interest, it's everything readily applicable when it's so they don't go out to explore. Show you the video, keep always in that.
Expected to respond. Is there a question or a feedback?
Like anything in life, it has its advantages and disadvantages. We're all sleeping less. We're all engaged with video. When I was born, it was black and white TV. Now it is color TV. Now nobody will use plasma anymore. Now it is iPhone. The next time it will be iPhone. Then the next one it will be Windows Phone. There will be something always new. That's why we're innovators. We're going to keep on innovating, and it's always, in most cases, for profit. We're not looking at it in your own best interest. We're only looking at profitability in most cases. So please, like all things, it has pros and cons. But the main thing is the topic of our discussion: technology integration in the classroom. We are saying our kids are tech savvy. Let's speak to them more in the language that they understand. We are still guides. Our job is to moderate it as well. Moderate it as well. Don't move completely digital. Keep on layer digital on top of what you are doing, but you are still the guide and the teacher. So let it be in moderation. They will still write. Let them write some, put some in writing, submit some digitally. Just make sure that at least let them remain current. Because when they go out there and they come into the workplace, most of the skills that they will need, we want them to have it before they can be hired. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful class. It's a great opportunity talking to you, and I wish you all the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, please could you give this special presenter a round of applause. When I talk about commitment to the education sector, he is one of those that I proudly raise that is supporting the sector. Let me look at all the things that we have done today. Do you know it's almost impossible to run TOSSE without support? Every part of TOSSE is money. The audio you are listening to at all, I don't want to tell you the millions even on the audio. Talk less of the script, talk less of it. There's no way we will have been able to run it without the support of organizations like WOWP. I want you to please give them a round of applause for me. They are one of our major partners for this program. And not only that, let me give you a word of advice. Whenever we say we are having a webinar, and you see the name WOWP there, what should you do? Quickly join. The reason is simple. They didn't even tell me. We held a webinar. They were in there. And they just casually asked me, who joined this webinar first? I was wondering. Then I remember the name of the lady. Do you know what they gave to that lady's school? A board worth 2.2 million. It was unbelievable. In fact, all of us were looking at ourselves. Then why did they tell us? And it was delivered within 3 days to the school. Even the school was looking at, the lady said, somebody just sent me the link, and I quickly joined. So with them, you're never sure. But one thing you are sure of is that they want to give the education sector the best. And they're committed to that. Recently, Gbolahan celebrated his birthday. He just said, okay, what do we think to this thing? This little big man. We do a little favor. I just say, please just say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May the good Lord. May the good Lord bless you. Amen. Good Lord bless you. Amen. Good Lord bless you.
I'm not used to surprises. And I just want to thank Mrs. Ogunde. We've had a wonderful engagement with you and your team. And I think while we spent a lot of money this year promoting in the education sector, and I think the best investment point we made of them all was TOSSE. And I want to say well done, professional team, well set together. And I can say that because we come from the technology side. Education is not an area where a lot of private sector people put money into. And all I'm going to say, like I said to you this morning, man, is you're just starting. 15 years is just, you're just getting near the top. Now the years of harvest are before you. So you are going to, when you look at all the people, I mean, I came in today and I said, wow, I've been to every hall. I've been to all of them, and they're all packed. And that tells me that, you know, we have to keep doing this. We have to keep supporting you. And we want you, please, as you go back and transform your sector. Go back and make a difference. The kids need it. Nigeria needs it. Nigeria needs you as tutors more than ever before. I'm saying it with all of my heart. I'm an investor, partly in education, but just go and make a difference. And those children will never forget what you've done. And beautiful thing, last thing I'll say is, teachers are earning crazy money right now. One of my closest childhood friends, my oldest female friend, has always earned 7 figures as a teacher. For as long as I've known her. I didn't say 6 figures, 7 figures a month. For as long as I've known her. So for those who are on top of their game, people are looking for them. They will never lack. So please, go and make a difference. You can do it. Thank you very much and God bless you.
So say.